Hi, welcome back. I'm Josh Mecca. I'm our Director of Recruiting here at American Central Transport. And I am joined today with Avery. Avery has been with American Central Transport for a couple of years now. And we just wanted to take a few minutes and kind of have a quick chat and let him tell you some more about us and why he has decided to stay here for his career. So Avery, how long have you been with us now?
Oh, January 7 was 26 years.
So 26 years, that's a long time.
Yeah, most of y'all were children when I started here.
Why'd you decide to stay with us that long?
Oh, well, when I first started out here, I come here by accident. I was driving another man's truck, and he had trucks over here, and I was supposed to go somewhere else, and he put me over here, and I drove his truck for 5.5 more years here, and by that time I knew everybody, and when he went out of business, I became a company driver, and nothing really changed as far as how I was treated or anything. It was still just like I was driving my own truck or whatever, and so it's one thing and another, and it just always been a good deal, so I just keep hanging around. They can't seem to run me off.
So speaking of running you off, we've put a couple miles on you. How many have you run with us now?
Right in the neighborhood of 3 million.
Wow, 3 million miles.
Yeah. They gave me a 2 million mile award here a while back, but that was only counting my company time here, which will be 21 years in June.
So that 3 million miles, that's impressive. It takes some good equipment to make that happen too.
Yeah.
So can you tell me something about what you think of our trucks and our trailers?
Well, when I started here, most of the equipment was a year or two old. They had only had 80 company trucks. We had 62 owner operators or fleet operators, and they had about 300 trailers. And they've always kept the equipment up, and they generally don't keep anything over 3 years as far as tractors. We used to have most of our work done at dealerships because we didn't have a shop. Now we've had a shop for going on about 12 years, and they take real good care of the equipment. We've built up to where we've got, close to 400 total trucks now. We've got 1,000 trailers. We had about 300, I think, when I started here. And I was told that I guess the oldest trailers now are only 5 years old, so they don't hang around very long, but they keep them up.
Well, I know that gives you some peace of mind when you're on the road, knowing that your equipment's going to be good for you.
Yeah, it's things has really changed in the industry, and like I say, they've always been good here about keeping the equipment up. And as time has progressed and we've gotten a larger company, we turn the equipment over a lot quicker as a rule now. But yeah, it's there was a time when things weren't built the way they are now, and you had tire problems all the time, or the trucks were breaking down. You'd have to go to a shop or something. And with the newer trucks and the way they've designed them and everything, for the most part, you don't spend a lot of time in the shop. But that's one thing they've always done here is if you've got a problem with something, you call in and you tell them, hey, look, this has got to be done. And one way or the other, either by driving or by hook, they'll get you somewhere to get it fixed. Back when we didn't have a shop, we had a maintenance man that was in charge and everything. We had a second in command there, and it was a young lady that worked here and still does. And you'd try to tell her, well, I said, I got something wrong with my truck. And she stopped me there and she says, look, she said, I don't know nothing about that truck. Ain't never drove one. Says, so here's what I need to know. What's wrong? Is it, tire bad or something blowed? Said, can you drive it, or do I need to send a wrecker? Just tell me where you're at. And that's pretty much it. I mean, if something goes wrong, you get on the phone, you get on the satellite on the Qualcomm, you send a message, or you call straight into maintenance, breakdown. We've got a good after hours and breakdown even during the day. And they're going to find something to get you taken care of, either tell you which shop to take it to, or if you have to, they'll send a hook and get you in there. But they're going to keep the equipment up.
Well, that's fantastic. Let's shift gears a little bit. Tell me about your weekly miles. What type of miles do you run a week?
Oh, it all depends. It depends on the time of the year. It depends on the fact that I get kind of lazy anymore because I've been doing this a while. But they keep track of our miles and tell us every week what the fleet average has been doing, and I've noticed that we've gotten up to well over 2,300 miles a week fleet average for working trucks. And on an average week, I'll run 22, maybe 25, depending on the freight. Some weeks, you know, the way the loads are set up, you might not get that much, but then I try to get home every 2 weeks and try to get as many days as they'll let me have. But but you know, you can figure around 22 to 23 every week, whether you work or not, is about the way it averages out. You know, you get good miles, and then we have, you know, just a lot of it depends on what area you happen to be in at a certain time. You may get in it where you're dropping and hooking every day, and you'll knock down 3,200 miles in a week and be saying, hey, look, my hours, you know, I've got this many hours left, so we're going to have to take a break. But for the most part, you can pretty much do what needs to be done, you know, as far as mileage and stuff.
That's good. So obviously when you're on the road, 3 million miles, 26 years, you've put up with a lot of stress on the road. When you deal with the office, how does that make you? Is that stressful? Is that good? Is that easy to work with? Can you describe your relationship there?
Well, ever since the day I started here, they've always had an open door policy here. You could pretty much get on the phone, and because we didn't even have satellite or anything back then, so it was always finding a payphone. But you could pretty much call in and talk to anybody you wanted to. If you managed to make it into the yard, you just walked in, and you know, if the door's open there, you could knock on the door frame and say, hey, are you busy? And you know, you can sit and visit, or you can bring any problems you might have had, or somebody just stressed you out real big at a customer or something other. And that's one thing. Somebody messes with you at a customer, always go to your travel agent or to somebody higher up in the company. Don't be out there trying to tell the customer right from wrong, because it's kind of like they always said, customer's always right. So just be polite, call the company and say, look here, y'all need to do something about these folks because they ain't treating us right. And like I say, anytime, anybody, when you're now we're all centrally located with the office right next door to the shop. We all get in more often to see the office people. And if their door's open, just tap on the door and say, hey, you know, can we talk? And whether it's a problem or you just want to pass the time of day because you hadn't seen them in a couple of weeks, and they're good with that.
One last question for you. Would you tell me why any prospective driver should consider and want to join ACT?
Excuse me. Well, I guess a lot depends on the individual, but you talk with the recruiting people and they tell you what's going to happen, and they're not going to lie to you about it. They tell you what it is, and you talk to other drivers, and for the most part they'll be honest with you. You know, you don't know, sometimes drivers kind of inflate, hey, you know, you ain't going to believe this or whatever, you know, truck driver story. But I've always been of the opinion that I can't hire anybody. I can tell you what my experience has been with this company and tell you what they do, and then it's up to you, because I don't know what your situation in life is. I don't know where you live. I don't know how you want to work, what you expect out of a company, but they're not going to lie to you. And I always end up, whenever I talk to somebody about it, I end up by telling them how long I've been here. And so, you know, it's everybody has a bad day. Every company's got its ups and downs. The economy makes it up and down. But it's up to the individual. They'll tell you what they're going to do, and you decide if you're going to be willing to do that for them. And you know, but they're a great place to work for. We've always had good equipment. They keep track of it. They take care of it. They take care and treat you like family. As being the senior driver here, as being here as long as I have, there's only 4 people in the company that have been here longer than me, and 2 of them are part of the owners group, family members. And our COO, I guess he is now, he was former president, he's not been here near as long as I have. So I came to work for his father and his brothers, and then he came in years ago, and when he would mess with me, I'd go in there and I'd tell him, now look, I've been here longer than you have. But they're good people to work for. and it is a family deal, and you can go in and talk to anybody you want to, and if you got problems or just something wrong in your family, or if you're having family issues or something, you can talk to somebody, and they're good about trying to help you out any way they can with illnesses or anything like that with your family or anything, and they've always treated me good, and it's a pleasure to work here.
Well, Avery, thank you for taking some time out of your day to join me. 26 years, almost 3 million miles. Yeah. See if we can get another million or two on you before you decide to hang it up on us.
Well, yeah, everybody asked me when I'm going to retire, and I said, look, I'm not that old. It's the dang hair color that does it to you. You think I'm old, but I ain't but 26 or so. Oh, wait a minute, that's how long I've been here.
That's how long you've been here. So, well, thank you again. I really appreciate you taking some time out for us. And anybody out there, feel free to give us a call, 888-HAUL-ACT. We'd love to tell you some more about what we have to offer here. And as always, look for Avery or any other ACT driver out there on the road. We'd love to tell you some more. Thank you.